Hello, everyone, and welcome to Diaries. Today, we are taking a look at a watch that honestly surprised me more than I expected. It's the Pagani Design PD-1722. Now, if you've been around the affordable watch world for even a little while, you already know Pagani Design has built a reputation for making watches that punch way above their price category. But this one tries to do something a little different. Now it has a power reserve indicator complication and automatic movement. It's got a see-through back, which honestly is a design statement by itself. It's got sapphire crystal. It's got 200 meters of water resistance or stated water resistance and styling that clearly takes inspiration from much more expensive Swiss luxury watches. So the real question is the PD-1722 just another homage watch, or is this actually one of the best value automatic watches you can buy under or around $150? Let's find out. Welcome back to Time Teller Diaries. I'm Time Teller. So first, let's talk about the design. The Pagani Design PD-1722 comes in at around 41 mm. We can quickly make that sure. Yes, it's 41 mm or about, and thickness of about 13 mm with a 20 millimeter strap width, which honestly is a very variable size for most wrists. And visually, this thing looks far more expensive than its actually price tag. Now, I like the fact that it has this 20 mm strap width adjustment, because you can get so many aftermarket straps that can be quickly, replaced as and when you need to match with any kind of outfit that you may be wearing, or for any event or occasion. This definitely goes very well with your casual or business casual, and it could be a daily wear. So the Pagani design is visually very attractive for the actual price tag. So you've got a polished surface mixed with brushed finishing. So I like the fact that it's got that even look of a very nice polished on here, and then you got the brushed finishing on the sides. A clean dial layout. It's got the applied indices, and probably the standout feature is this power reserve indicator, which gives it that feeling of, or at least a wearing, somebody wearing it gets a feeling of a decently expensive watch. And that is something you typically will not see in this price category, which is this power reserve. Now, the dial also includes a small seconds complication and a nicely balanced date window positioned at 6 o'clock, which gives the watch a much cleaner symmetry compared to most watches that usually come at the 3 o'clock placement. So, honestly, the dial layout is one of the strongest aspects of this Pagani watch. Now, the specs are where Pagani Design usually tries to dominate the value conversation. Now, this watch features a sapphire crystal with anti reflective coating and a screw down crown. So, you typically could, I've already had this power, winding done to the max, but you can definitely, if I were to, wind it further, then I could get the power all uh, wound up, and that could easily uh, power the watch for between 24 to 30 hours. I mean, the watch does claim a 40-hour power reserve, but in my experience, from the start to almost at this down indicator, or when the watch would completely stop, you can definitely expect to get about 30 hours of reserve, even if you never wore the watch. So that's pretty impressive on paper for the price. Now, the bracelet that came with the watch was pretty decent too, but I had replaced with this aftermarket one, which uh, were more suited to my use, because I like to wear it, in mostly casual and business casual wear scenario. So by no means, it's not a luxury level, but obviously it does a very good job that you might expect from older budget watches. So the finishing is surprisingly sharp from a distance. I mean, looking from a distance, you definitely, by far, you want to see what watch you're wearing. Somebody's wearing, and that definitely uh, has a presence. But and that is most important. What it is this is still a budget homage watch. So if you look very closely, you might notice some imperfections in alignment or finishing depending on the quality control. But I may have lucked out. I have probably got one of the more excellent samples or examples. And uh, a FYI, this is not a promo video. This is basically a watch that I purchased and have kept for myself. So I have read on some blogs that they may have received a watch which has imperfections, or there might be minor bezel issues or bracelet inconsistencies. So expectations definitely need to stay realistic, because after all, this is a between 150 to $200 watch. Now, as far as the movement, the Pagani Design PD-1722 uses an automatic movement identified as the CAL.2C.22 with about a 40-hour power reserve, which is stated or claimed. And like I said, you can definitely expect to get about 30 hours. And this thing just gets going even if I've not used it for, let's say a couple of months, and I feel like wearing it. I wind it, and it just, goes on without any issues whatsoever. I've not had any issues with the watch. I've had the watch for, I think, about 2 years now. And generally speaking, the Pagani's automatic offering tend to perform reasonably well for daily wear. So as long as you're wearing it daily, I don't think there's going to be any issue whatsoever, because it uh, kind of winds up on its own. That's the whole idea of having an automatic movement. So you're not buying a certified Swiss precision here, but it is almost as precise as any of the luxury Swiss watches. So the mechanical watch enjoyment at a accessible price point is how I would categorize it. So on the wrist, this watch wears very comfortably because it fits very well. It is absolutely a very comfortable watch to wear. It's not heavy. I mean, heavy in the sense of being heavy as it should be for the size and for the look of this watch. And it fits right at where it should be for my kind of a wrist. So, and that generally I would say is a more average wrist that I have. So it has enough presence to feel substantial but not oversized, or how I put it, cartoonishly large. I mean, I see some watches which are excessively thick and big, which may suit and be, feel something of you know, acceptance to some, but it depends on a person to person. So the polished case gives it a more premium appearance, and depending on the dial color you choose, it comes in, I think, three colors: black, white, or blue. Um, and I like this off white. I mean, it's white, but it's kind of off white because I really wanted to see the power reserve, the ending sort of a red, the low reserve highlight that's been highlighted, and some of the imprints here quite visible. And the best part are those, the blue, light blue hands and the prints, which kind of change the color because they are in this shiny blue category, which would change color as you move it around. If I don't know if you can see it, but it looks very, very well on in this light off-white dial. So personally, um, that's again my view. This white dial is the most versatile, but you might have other likings, which definitely is again depending on each individual. Now let's quickly summarize some of the pros and cons that I found. Pros: absolutely excellent value for money. It's got the sapphire crystal, it's got the power reserve complication here, which is quite unique. I don't see this very often in this price category, and works very well. This power reserve indicator is very accurate. It's got a strong visual presence. I've got very many compliments when I've been, wearing this watch, and many people have asked, what brand is it, and they probably, when I tell them it's Pagani Design, many know about it, many don't. So that is the whole idea of this affordable watch category. 200-meter water resistance is stated. I haven't used it. I cannot endorse it, but I never take it off when I'm washing hands, or I've even taken it for a light swim, but I haven't taken it, for a deep water, kind of a 200-meter, deep check. Surprisingly good features set for the price that I paid. Now cons, obviously it's a homage. It's homage watch inspired design, may not appeal for everyone. The quality control can vary, so make sure if you are getting one to ensure when you receive the watch to check for all quality issues. The drawback is obviously Pagani Design is usually only delivered online, through online stores. So it's hard to walk into a store and check for any inconsistencies prior to the purchase. The lume is decent. I wouldn't call it exceptional. So don't expect that this is going to be, a very high end kind of a lume. Brand prestige obviously isn't comparable to Swiss luxury watches. I mean, I know for sure, even if I keep this watch for 10 years, the value of the watch is not going to, bump up like any other Swiss watch in certain categories that almost double in price. Now, some finishing details reveal budget nature up close, which is understandable. I mean, like I said, this watch is 2 years old. I may have worn it for 40, 50 occasions continuously for about 4 or 5 days at a stretch because I have other watch in collection, but I definitely find this as one of my favorite in terms of the value, category that I have. But honestly, that's the kind of point. I mean, this watch isn't pretending to be a $10,000 luxury watch on heritage. It is competing on value. So is the Pagani Design PD-1722 worth buying? In my view, Yes, if you understand exactly what this watch is. This is a budget friendly, enthusiast watch that delivers an incredible amount of visual appeal and specifications for the money. Now, it's not perfect, but for many people, it may be the cheapest way to experience features and aesthetics usually reserved for far more expensive mechanical watches. And honestly, that's why watches like this have so much of popularity in the enthusiast community. You get to enjoy the hobby without destroying the wallet. So if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And let me know in the comments, would you buy a Pagani Design watch or would you rather save up for a luxury original? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.